Up, Mr. Hall? How you doing?
Jake, you're the man. How you doing?
I am doing amazing right now. How could I not be? I'm on a Zoom call with Mr. Hall to figure this out. This is awesome. So thank you.
You're too kind, man. You're too kind. Well, I'm looking forward to chat with you.
I am looking forward so much, and I got a taste of it back when I met you in March at the Raptors game. When I was sitting right near you and I walked over to you, I asked you to join my show. You were super nice to me. We had some good conversations. So thank you so much for that. It really meant a lot to me.
Well, what you should tell your listeners is that you're a baller. You were sitting courtside, man. You were sitting right next to LeBron James. And I'm like, who's that dude sitting next to LeBron? And it was you. And you came over to talk to me, and I felt so humbled. And then you asked me to do the show, and I'm like, I got to do the show. If you hang out with LeBron, how could I not do the show?
Yeah, it was awesome. What could be better? Sitting next to NBA players on one side and Mr. Wes Hall on the other.
You're
Awesome.
the man. You're balling, man. You're balling.
How was your summer, Mr. Hall? Did you do anything
You
crazy?
know, yeah, I did some great things. I took the family to New Zealand and Fiji.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I'm telling you, Jay, it was epic. So there was like seven people. There was eight of us actually. My niece came with us, and I'm telling you, it was we were driving up some roads, and I looked outside, and I was doing the driving, by the way, and I was driving one of those Sprinter vans. You know the Sprinter vans, the big van.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, because we've got a big family, right? So you got to get a Sprinter van to fit all the people in it. And we got the GPS got us lost, okay? And we're going up this mountain, and I looked outside, and there was just this cliff, and there's no barriers, there's nothing. And so all the time driving, my kids were making fun of me. Dad, you're driving this crazy, and you need to stay on the other side of the road. When we got to this mountainside, zip, not a single sound from any of them. They were just holding on to their seats and praying that we get to the other side safely. And guess what? I'm back. So guess I did okay. I did okay.
That is awesome. That's so much fun. New Zealand and Fiji. That's sick.
Yeah, it is. And New Zealand is kind of like a small version of Canada. It's like very, very beautiful. Fiji was amazing. And then I learned something new in Fiji that they actually outlawed cannibalism like 10 years ago.
Serious?
So you could actually, up to then, you could have actually eaten a human being if you want.
That's insane.
And I found out that first cousins or they don't get along with each other in Fiji, like in the historically, because they view each other as competition. Like I learned all these things there, man. It was crazy.
Wow. So my little brother, he's like 6. So
Yeah.
I always tell him he's adorable so I can eat him. But there, they would take that seriously.
There you could go to jail for saying that now, but before you'd be okay doing
They'd be like, they'd be like, whoa, calm
your,
down.
your parents would be like, Jake, no, we're not allowing you to hang out with your little brother anymore because we're concerned. Okay, that we're gonna come back and he's gonna lose a foot, and we're gonna find Jake, what happened to your brother's foot? And you start cleaning out your teeth or something. I said, I don't know.
Wow. So I just want to get back for a second. We were talking about how I met you at the Raptors game and everything, and I know the Raptors right now are rebuilding. They're not nearly as competitive as the past years. But hey, the atmosphere is just always awesome there at the games. They have some young players, so hopefully it looks better for the future. Do you have any relationship with Masai Ujiri or anyone in the Raptors organization that it draws you there?
Yeah, Masai's my boy. He's a great, great guy, and I have a lot of confidence in him. When he fired Coach Casey, everybody was giving him a hard time, and he said, "Listen, Wes, I got to do what's in the best interest of the team." So even though Coach Casey won Coach of the Year that year, he got fired by Masai. But
Right.
guess what happened that year? You remember what happened, right?
Of course.
He won the championship
Oh yeah.
after he did that.
Crazy.
Right?
Coach Nurse was amazing.
And where was Nick? Nick was on the bench as
Yep.
assistant coach. And he said, Nick, you're off the bench. You're going to be the head coach. And Nick is like, are you sure I'm ready, Masai? Masai's like, I know you're ready. And he killed it. And so all the different changes we're going through right now in the Raptors, we're gonna be okay because Masai is a genius. Trust me, he's a genius. We're gonna be praising the guy when the season is over.
You know, just pretty funny, not to toot my own horn, but I've had Coach Casey, Coach Nick Nurse, and Coach Jarko now. They've all been so nice to me, been willing to come on. So I thought that was really funny. Just I've been having the Raptors head coach in line, which is just super amazing, and
You'll
I'm
you'll
so
get
happy.
him, man. So now we're gonna have to get Masai to come on your show, bro.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, the guys that the Raptors organization, MLSC, from Nick Eves that runs all the operations and stuff like that. They have an amazing team there, and they make me feel very welcome every time I go to the game. So yeah, it's no place I'd rather be on game night, man. Courtside, right next to Nav, and you.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I gotta take advantage of obviously having a business mogul on my show, and I gotta ask you some advice quickly.
Sure.
So I'm currently 14 and I started this podcast when I was 11. And my goal was to get big sports stars and executives on my show to talk some sports, life, just have a good time and stuff. And, when I had it, it was crazy. When I started it, it was because my hockey shut down during COVID. And I just looked at my dad and I'm like, I want to continue my sports passion. I want to continue everything. I want to start a podcast. He looked at me and he laughed. He won't admit it now, but I have a vivid memory of my dad laughing at me in the face saying, what are you going to do? And hey, now fast forward my 136th episode, and
Congratulations.
I'm just loving it. Just I
Yeah.
had a dream, I worked super hard, I pushed, and I just followed it. Just what advice can you give me to take my show to the next level?
Well, first of all, isn't it great to laugh back in your father's face?
Amazing. It's the
Right?
best.
And you're right. And say that, the thing about it is that what I've seen, especially being on Dragon's Den, is a lot of people pivot when something happens, right? COVID came, they lost something, and in some cases they lost everything. And they sit there and they go, what am I gonna do? But they don't just sit there feeling sore for themselves. They kind of start getting their brain to think. And that's what entrepreneurs do, right? Entrepreneurs, our brain is very different than everybody else. And in a lot of cases, when we tell people what ideas we're going to bring to market, they laugh in our faces. They laugh in our faces, right? But only we know what we're capable of doing, right? Nobody else
100%.
knows what we're capable of doing. They can think that we're capable of doing this and that, but only we know what we're capable of doing. And all we need is to find people who have confidence in us for us to bring that dream or vision to reality. That's it. And so I think that you taking that leap and pivoting from hockey to podcast and saying that I'm not just going to talk to my buddies, my 14-year-old buddies, I'm going to talk to celebrities, big shots, icons.
That's
That's why your dad laughed. Your dad didn't laugh because you're setting up a podcast, because any old Joe can do it. Is your vision of who you're going to talk to. That's why he laughed. And the reason why you're laughing back at him right now is because it's happening for you. So
amazing.
all I'm saying is that passion, that drive, that hustle that you have, that's what you need to be an entrepreneur. And you just got to keep going at it. And you called my office, you didn't stop at one call or two calls or three calls or four emails. You made it happen and you didn't take no for an answer. And to be an entrepreneur, you have to be able to not take no for an answer. And you have to look at no as a maybe, as a one day soon,
It's true.
right? The attitude is important. And you have a great attitude. You're going to be just fine.
It's because this was important to me, so I had to get it done.
Exactly. There you go.
So speaking about being an entrepreneur, I actually just recently got involved in another business, which has been so cool, crazy experience for me so far. It's been a very successful tech company that reached out to me and they wanted to introduce their technology to the sports market and they thought we could do some cool things together. And it's just been so awesome. I'm learning a ton. And I kind of feel that learning business firsthand actually helps me more than school. And obviously, I'm not belittling what school is. School is so important. But do you agree that getting firsthand working experience is just so valuable?
Let me say this, like school is important. It's critically important because it helps you to think a certain way. Not all of us learn the same way though. But what schooling does is to help you to critically think. And when you get into business, it's a good idea to critically think. But there's nothing more important than actually being in the trenches, getting things done. You get a lot more knowledge out of that.
Exactly.
And so, but in a lot of cases for entrepreneurs, they have never done it before. Like when I started this business, Kingsdale, which is the #1 brand in Canada, one of the top brands globally, I've never started a business before. I didn't know, but I went in there and I started to learn different things. But the other things that we do as entrepreneurs is that we learn from our errors. And a lot of people, their mistakes kind of let them go, I don't want to do this anymore because I just made a mistake. We learn from it, and it makes us a lot better when we learn from the mistakes. And so I would say, getting that hands-on, that just doing it and having no safety net as well, because that's what entrepreneurialism is, right? Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Why is it that only a small percentage of people do it? Because, everybody think you look over the edge and that's an entrepreneur. You're looking over the edge, and then all of a sudden you look down there and all you see are jagged rocks, right? But
Right.
here's the difference between an entrepreneur and a non-entrepreneur. A non-entrepreneur look over there and they see a nice mattress on top of the rocks. An entrepreneur look over and they see the rocks and they go, I'm going to jump because I'm going to go in between each of them.
Right.
It's never going to hit me, right? It's never going to
It's
get me, right? But a
amazing.
non-entrepreneur want to see a mattress so that just in case I miss the rocks, I'm going to get the mattress. I'm going to be okay. And
Right.
so it's like a day by day thing, and you take problems as they come, and you treat every single problem that you see as an opportunity. And that's the beauty about getting in there, getting it done, and being an entrepreneur.
That is an incredible answer. And hey, I can't wait. One day I'm gonna show you the pitch about this tech company. We're gonna talk about it one day.
Hey, listen, man, if you have a great idea, right? You notice I say great. If you have a great idea, Jake, you can pitch it to me anytime.
Will do.
Here's the beauty about rich people. You know how rich people become rich?
How?
Is they always see the best ideas first before everybody else.
It's true.
You know why they see the best ideas before everybody else?
Because everyone wants to pitch it to them.
If you're broke, okay, and you have this great idea, and your buddy is broke, right? Would you pitch that idea to your broke buddy?
No.
No. But even if the idea is the greatest idea, you wouldn't pitch it to your buddy, even though it's gonna make your buddy rich, but he's broke. So
Right.
who are you gonna pitch it to?
Someone that's rich.
That's right. That's why rich people always get richer because they always get the best deals pitched to them, and the bad deals get pitched to people with no money because the rich people go, I don't want that.
Wow. That
That's
makes
how it
perfect
works,
sense. That's crazy.
right? That's how it works. So if you have a great deal, you go to somebody with money because that dream is going to become a reality because it takes money. Money is fuel. You don't have money, you have no fuel. You can't drive. Can't get the business to move.
Right. It all runs on the fuel. Love that.
Runs on the fuel, man, and the fuel is money.
That's awesome. Actually, a few years ago, I had the owner of the LA Dodgers on my show, and he's just an incredible person. And he actually ended up bringing me down to LA to a game to sit in his seat, spend the night
Look
with
at
him.
that.
It was unreal, crazy experience. I learned a ton that night. And then I had the idea that I asked him if I could come to LA for a few weeks and intern with the Dodgers so I could learn
Hmm.
firsthand the business side of the franchise. And he was so down for it. He was telling me, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's go." But then their legal department told me that they can't employ a minor in California because it's state,
That's
which was
a
insane,
bummer. Yeah.
which was crazy. I was like, "Wow." So, Mr. Hall, I'm gonna take a shot here. Maybe
Yeah.
one day I can intern with one of your companies.
Listen, first of all, what I can say is that the next season, when we're taping next season of Dragon's Den in May, you can come and be a behind the scenes guy and see how the sausage is made. Okay. So I'll make that happen for you. Just keep in touch with us and we'll make that happen. Okay.
Wow.
And I think that's even better than interning, man, because you're going to meet all the dragons. You're going to see what we do and you're going to be able to put some stuff on your podcast and stuff like that. But listen, I would say this, that we are always looking for very smart young people, very smart, hardworking young people. And we have multiple businesses that could use that type of talent. So when you're ready, just reach out to us. And we
100.
don't have a legal department that's so stringent that, we're not going to hire them. We will hire you. We will figure out a way to make sure that you get the experience that you need, and our legal people will make sure that happens the right way.
Love that. I love that. You're truly the best. Wow. So last question, Mr. Hall.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite accurate to say that you love fashion. Is that right?
I say that I do.
So, because I thought that because you're always dressed super sharp.
Well, let me show you my shoes, man. I don't know if I can. You see that?
Oh, wow.
See the spike and stuff
I
like
love
that?
them.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're always looking fly, just amazing. And every time I leave the house, my parents are always yelling at me, make sure your shoes are tied, tuck in your shirt, this and that. Just in your eyes, how important is it, do you feel, to see someone that's dressed up? Like someone that comes on Dragon's Den and has a pitch. If their look is all disheveled, if they're dressed disheveled, does that impact your confidence in them?
100%. 100%. First appearance means everything. And people hear you say that, but it's true, right? If you walk into a room and immediately people start to size you up and form an opinion of you. The reason, when I started in the mailroom on Bay Street, I wore a suit every day because when I went into the office to get the job, I saw that everybody was wearing a suit. And I started wearing a suit too. And then people started to show me respect. People thought I was a lawyer. They didn't think I was a mail guy because I was wearing a suit. If I was wearing a jeans and t-shirt, looked unkempt, they're going to be like, who is this guy? He's a mailroom guy. You always dress, first of all, you hear the expression as well, dress to impress.
100%.
Dress to impress is not just to say, I want someone I'm looking for a date or something like that. It's so that people can be impressed by the way that you look and put yourself together. But I also say that you need to be authentic. Some people, when they get a job interview, they go to the job interview, wear a suit and tie and everything, and they look all good, and they get the job, and the next day when they show up to work, they wear jeans and t-shirt. That's bait and switch. You can't bait and switch like that. If you're going to come to the job interview, look a certain way, you're going to have to keep that appearance up for the whole time because that's now you. And that's the you that they hired. And if you go to the job interview in jeans and t-shirt and they hire you, don't wear a suit the next day. They expect you to come in wearing jeans and t-shirt, right? So, but you got to be authentic. But I would say look matters. How you groom yourself matter. Back in the day, remember when you couldn't get certain jobs if you have a beard, if you're a man?
Okay.
That's out of the window now. Like all kinds of people were in beard, but it was in place because people go, if you have a beard, you look unkempt, you look unapproachable. And when you don't have the beard, you dress nicely, you're more approachable and people want to speak with you, right? And so you want to make sure that you play the part, you look the part, and that will get you a long way. At least it gets me a long way.
Wow. So you're saying my parents are right. So my dad was 1 for 2. Not that bad.
Well, not bad, right? It's just like, yeah, it's batting 50%, man. Come on. Give him a break.
Yeah. Mr. Hall, thank you so much for taking your time from your busy day to join me today on Jake's Takes. Did you enjoy your time with me?
Listen, I never imagined in my wildest dreams that one day I would be invited to be on Jake's Takes. I did not know that, and now I can strike that off my bucket list.
Along with New Zealand.
And along with New Zealand, 2 things off my bucket list within a couple of weeks of each other. That's amazing. I can die a happy man now.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.